What's good? It's your favorite investor, and this week we're back with another video where I explain to you guys my outlook on the markets this week. You guys know we've had some pretty interesting data coming through. We had another 0.25 basis rate hike for the interest rates, and I mean, if y'all looking at the chart, y'all pretty much see for the last couple of weeks we have been trading in this range. So I want to talk to you guys on what I think the SPY can end up doing for these upcoming weeks. I want to explain to you guys a couple of trades that I had, and we're going to go over the economic calendar and get ready for another interesting week in the markets. Now, as always, please don't take any of the advice on this channel as a recommendation. All views are my own, and information on this channel are for educational and informational purposes only. This is not financial advice and should not substitute for financial advice from a professional. As always, remember to be sure y'all make sure y'all hit that like button and subscribe for more future content so I can keep y'all updated on what's going on in the markets. Now, let's get into the business, right, man? I'm gonna bring back some of my drawings on here. You guys can see I've had 417 as resistance for a long time. We recently hit this level in kind of at the beginning of February. We just wicked off of it again to start May, right? The 1st of May, we wicked off of that and came down. We had some pretty negative news in the markets, and that caused us to continue to slide. We end up finding some support here. And after we got the bullish news from the jobs data, we ended up rallying, gapped up, rallied, and closed the week at 412. This is super interesting, but it kind of makes sense because we're still bouncing in between these zones here. We haven't moved off of these zones, and right now I think that we're still in a consolidation period. I'm going to go through some other tickers and show you guys what's going on in the markets because some things have technically put in a higher low, and this might signify that the SPY might move up and continue to move towards that 430 zone, which I have spoken about in some of my previous videos. So right now it's kind of, I don't know, I guess if you wanted to take the risk this week, right, if I really wanted to trade this week and take a long position, I might do something like this where I'm using that as my low and I'm playing this into the 428 430 zone. This will take some time to develop, but like I said, I'm really looking for it to possibly break the 417 to the upside or break down to the 403 to the downside. So I think that at the moment, we're probably going to still continue to trade in this range. It might be beneficial for you know, maybe an iron condor or something like that if you think it is going to stay within those levels, or if you feel like it's going to break out this week, then possibly playing either put credit spreads or debit credit spreads, either which way you think it's going to go. So those are some of the things that I'm looking at this week. I also want to go over the QQQ. I want to show you guys what's going on in this chart because it's very interesting. I've had this little block here, this little area here where we've been trading in between. We finally broke up to the upside, and I'm going to zoom in just so you guys can see, but we cleared and closed above that level right there. So I do believe that there is some upside potential in the Qs, especially since Apple has some good earnings. You guys know Apple makes a huge part of this fund, so I am expecting Apple to make to continue to move up and possibly move the Q higher, right? We've seen tech, basically tech has been the only thing that has been super bullish in this environment, so I'm looking for them to continue. Let's take things over to the XOXX, aka the semiconductor ETF, and in here, yes, I told you guys about my trade on the semiconductors. I saw this resistance here. I took that trade short off of my entry, played it to about here, got out. Beautiful trade on my end, and now I'm potentially looking at taking this long going the other way. If you guys are looking at this, we're basically just trading in this huge zone here, right? The semiconductors have been a lot more volatile than the rest of the market, but we're really just trading in that zone, and I'm expecting it to possibly find some support here with this bullish engulfing candle and potentially ride that the way up. I'm still on the fence on if I'm going to take this trade, but more than likely this is my signal, this is my opportunity. So I'm gonna see if I can get a nice entry in pre-market, maybe somewhere down here where I can minimize some of my risk per share, and then I might take that trade. So just explaining to you guys some of my thought process on what I'm looking to do here. That's one of the things that I'm like that I might take care of. Let's go ahead and let's look at the economic calendar coming up this week, because we do have a couple of big events that we might want to pay attention to. We do have wholesale inventories on Monday, and we have the Fed senior loan survey that will be giving us some more information as to what's going on with some of the loans that are being given out. We have a couple of Fed speakers and the New York Fed president on Tuesday. Wednesday, you guys want to make sure you're paying attention. We do have core CPI coming out. This will give us some more information on the direction of inflation. At the moment, it's still kind of sticky, which is the reason why the Fed has raised rates again, and they're planning on keeping on pausing. I'll show you guys the Fed futures fund rate so we can kind of get into that. Then we have core PPI on Thursday. And we have the import price index and the St. Louis Fed just talk on Friday. So a couple of big movers coming up. We also have Disney earnings this week. I am in that Disney trade. I will go over that with you guys. So let's pull up the Fed futures here. You guys can see we're at about 5 to 5.25%, looking like we're pausing in June, staying right around where we're at. We're not expecting another 0.25 basis point rate hike again, but that potential is still on the table. There's about less than a 10% chance. It's not zero. I mean, they're saying there's a chance. They're saying there's a chance. So now going back into this, I want to explain to you guys one of the trades that I had taken in Steel Dynamics. This trade was super interesting because I had played it before here, and I got this huge bullish candle that literally wicked me out at the top. Ended up taking my profits there. Beautiful trade. And I was thinking, hey, this is back into that support zone there. I'll take this again, taking it to the upside, basically playing this huge zone that it has been trading in. This week, I got smacked in the mouth. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Smacked in the mouth. It ended up coming down on Thursday, right when the whole market was bearish. Steel felt the impacts of that. Ended up coming down into the zone. It's still support, but my stop loss was hit and I was rejected. We ended up getting the gap up the next day. However, we ended up getting this wicked candle to the top side, basically saying we opened here, we tried pushing up here all the way up to 101, ended up closing down at 98. So the bears drove this all the way back down. At the moment, I am not looking bullish on Steel Dynamics, so I'm gonna stay away from it for a while. I might end up playing it if it comes back into possibly the 95 zone and shows me some support, or if it continues to drop off, I'll be looking for it at 88. So I'm gonna stay away from this trade for a little bit. Made some money on the front end, then I came back, tried to play it again, and lost money. And what I'm trying to show you guys is there's a lot of people out here that are telling you, oh, hey, all you gotta do is play support and resistance. And it's like, you know, that's true, but there will be plays that you end up losing, and that's just the way that it goes. You guys can see here I made $11 per share on my initial trade on the first one. On this one, I lost $4 per share on this trade. When you take those two numbers, 4 minus 11 is $7. I'm still up $7 per share on my trade on STLD, even though I'm only 1-1. You understand what I'm saying? So you guys got to make sure that you're managing your risk properly to make sure that you're playing the stock market the correct way. At the end of the day, when you're day trading or swing trading, you're taking these setups, but it's a statistical probability that you're gonna win some and lose some. Let's talk about this other trade though. I want to talk about this really quick. Let's go into Disney. They do have earnings this week. I do like this trade. It's a very interesting one because they came down out of my box zone here, ended up getting a nice bullish close above, came back down, basically booked a higher low, and then gave me the gap up bullish candle. So at the moment, I'm currently playing this long. I'm hoping to see if we can end up pushing into the 113, possibly the 107 zone. I'm gonna be kind of flexible with my trade here. I might end up taking some profits at 107 or continue to ride it out until about 113. But this the trade that I'm looking for this week in Disney. They're saying it's about a 6% to 7% implied move on Disney this week off of earnings. So my fingers are definitely crossed that they have solid earnings and the market likes it. All of these other companies have been giving out decent earnings, and they moved up drastically off of it. So hopefully we get the same kind of move with Disney. If not, I will be paying attention. If it does end up crashing below or gaps down below this 96, I will take my L and move on to the next one. But as always, man, I hope y'all enjoyed this content. I hope y'all are ready for the markets this week. Let me know down in the comments if you guys have any plays or anything that you guys would like me to go over next week or in some of my upcoming videos. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Make sure y'all have smashed that like button and subscribe for more future content. Y'all already know it's your boy, your favorite investor. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Don't do anything I want to do, and remember to always protect the capital.